This next gentleman has been keeping Grenadians near and far in the loop, specifically building up to the London Olympic Games. And let me tell you, boy, I just used to wake up every morning, log on to Facebook to find out what Michael Bascombe was up to next and how he, just went about his journey. And I'm sure he was quite excited to be part of the celebrations as it unfolded right before his eyes and our eyes and everyone's eyes. But I'm so honored and privileged to have Michael here with me this morning. He's one of our own, and we're very proud of him as a sports journalist. He's keeping us fully informed on a constant basis, and I know he's been quite busy, so I'm really appreciative of the fact that you're here with me this morning, Michael, my River Road homeboy. Michael Bascombe, viewers. Welcome, Michael.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, man, good to have you here.
Thanks very much.
Wow. You have had some journey for the last few months, man.
Yeah, it has been what we call a whirlwind.
I'm telling you. I am telling you.
Well, it was actually something that was planned because culminating with the Olympic Games, it's not that you just go to the Olympic Games, you must prepare yourself, and I thought it would have been best for me to ensure that I'm on the circuit. I mean, and going to most of the track and field events with our athletes around the world. I was in the Caribbean a couple of times because they were in Trinidad, St. Kitts, just all over where they are. Try to be there as much as possible.
Fantastic. Michael, how long have you been doing this? I mean, I know a lot of people, when they see you, the first thing they remember is, wait a minute, I remember him from GBN News and that sort of thing.
I don't usually give a figure as to, in terms of, because, people will quickly calculate age and things like that.
Oh, come on.
But just around 87, 88, I would have started.
Wow.
In that,
Michael? Yeah, well, you will be calculating already.
It has been a while.
Say about what? About 29 now?
You mean in terms of years?
Your age, you're about 29, right? Just pulling your legs.
But I've been around for quite a while.
Yeah, but that's incredible. What inspired you to get involved in this field?
Well, the sports in particular, since I was attending school, secondary school, I had this passion for sports and sports reporting. I used to be passing into Radio Grenada at the time. Well, it had Radio Free Grenada, all these sort of things. But, passing into the radio station, I used to be hanging around with people like Harold Picedy and Paul Roberts and Ray Roberts. When their football matches, I consider myself as a commentator, a de facto commentator, by hanging around the guys. After school, I'll pass into the radio station, so I had this passion. I used to go to school at the radio, I recall Mr. Ashby at time asks me, every time I'm coming with this big bag and he wants to know what I had in it, and he asked me a time to, let's see what you have in that bag, in the auditorium. And unfortunately, it was a big, those transistors were big.
Oh yeah.
So I had to take that out.
Oh, yeah.
But it's because what I used to do is that because the sports cast at midday just after their use means that I will be in classroom. I used to ask for permission and go out, like in the toilet and listen to the sportscast. And listen to the BBC Sports, all these sort of things.
Wow.
So I had that sort of passion long before, and I recall, some time ago a guy said, Michael Bascombe, I was in New York, and he said, you still doing sports? I said, yeah. He said, I knew that, man. I recall in school, always listening to sports. So I had that sort of passion for it, and I always tell the young guys who ask me about it, you must have a passion. If you don't, it may just be for the flair, it may just be for the glamour, and I don't think it will last, You have to have that passion. You have to understand that the glamour belongs to the competitors and not you.
That's right.
And if you understand that, then you'll be able to succeed. Yeah.
I want us to go into the games because I'm quite excited and I'm eager to find out, just get your thoughts directly from you, obviously, about your experience at the London Olympic Games, Michael.
London, I will say, will be historic for me because I've been to many of these, since 1996 I've been going to the Olympic Games. And why so? Because it's the first time we won a medal. The closest we came was in 2004 in Athens with Aline Francique, when he placed 4th in the 400 meters. But this time it was something, and then I recall when we had our meeting and they decided that Michael Bascombe will be trackside. I had to keep it a bit like a secret, among friends and things, but I will be trackside, and I was debating what will I be wearing in trackside? And then I said, okay, I have some ties. I have a Grenada tie.
Yeah.
I have this, I have that. All sorts of things play up in mind. What I'll be doing, what will happen to me, all these sort of things came through my mind. I, and I recalled when the race started, I had the problem of concentrating because all sorts of things were flashing through my mind. False start. Kirani, please don't false start. Grenadians are there. I mean, I was not seeing, but I was visualizing what's taking place in Grenada, in Guave, all over. And my mind was racing. And I was trying to balance between Michael Bascombe as a Grenadian supporter and Michael Bascombe as a sports journalist. And there were times this one was going up.
I'm sure.
And then there was this, and I was trying to balance this thing. And I recall at one point, I'm not supposed to do it, but I did it. I was shouting on trackside.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah, I was shouting.
If you were successful in maintaining composure.
No.
And I know your answer would have been just
not fully. And then when he won, and then I start going back into preparing myself now as a sports journalist to talk to Kirani J.
Yes.
So the experience, I would say, was historic in many folds in that I was able to be trackside. I was able to interview Kirani James and also see that, part of history unfolded right in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got an image on screen right now. I know I saw the interview and I know what you spoke to him about and all of that, but I really honestly, Michael, want to know, how did you feel to be part of, yes, the historical moment, but being able to interview the Olympic
champion? Yeah. Well, it's only after I really thought about it,
Because I know you both you've spoken before.
I've spoken to,
no, it's so much different now.
Well, it was the world stage, and obviously it brought some level of attention. But I most importantly in my mind at that time is for Grenadians to find out firsthand how Kirani James is feeling.
Yeah.
Not from a third party, not from some other person saying, well, Kirani said that, but hearing it from himself. And I knew he was so excited when he came. Well, I didn't think the camera got that part because I knew Lance was introducing me. But when he came and he saw that I was there, I think I was right after. It was BBC, NBC, there was another, and then it was the IMC, the Caribbean. And when he saw that I was there, he was like, wow, I'm getting to talk to Grenada, I'm getting to talk to the Caribbean, this sort of thing. So for me, I felt that, I accomplished something because I was able to at least bring something to Grenadians as well. Yeah,
definitely.
So it was a very good experience.
Goodness. Listen, you're taking me back there as if I've been there, and I could just, I could just imagine what was going through your veins and everybody else as well. I forget what was going through our veins when we were here. We was just complete pandemonium right here. Michael, in terms of the future of our athletes, and I'm not just speaking about Grenada, I'm speaking about the future for Caribbean athletes. What do you foresee?
Well, I foresee, and then when we talk about the future, we look at 2016 is probably the next Olympic Games, which is in Rio. But even before that, there is the World Championship in Moscow comes next year, and Kirani James will be going out to defend his world title. There's another World Championship in Beijing in 2015. So there are 2 World Championships to be decided before the Olympic Games. So a lot is in store, and a lot can happen between that time. Obviously, the focus is on 2016, and I think the Caribbean in itself, by its own nature, record haul of medals among the Caribbean at London, a lot will be looking forward to for the Caribbean itself in 2016. Yes, there'll be the changing of some guards because some of them obviously will move out.
Right.
But there is the potential that a lot young ones are coming through. The 400, for example, 1, 2, 3, basically from the Caribbean, Grenada, Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic, and Trinidad and Tobago. So there's great, and when you look at the ages, 19, basically they have at least 2 Olympic Games still in 2016 and then thereafter, so great potential for the Caribbean. For Grenada, I can say with Rondell Bartholomew looking as if he will be back,
Yes.
There is a high possibility of Grenada this time, seriously, with a 4x4 relay team.
That's what I was talking about
A
just this
4x4
morning.
relay team.
Oh, yeah.
With Kirani James, Rondell Bartholomew, Braylon Taplin, that's another one who has Grenadian parents, and Joel Phillip. Yeah, has also expressed, well, he says that he is back in training. He is doing his master's degree now, so he may have an off the NCAA circuit. So he must have some time to train. And I think the prospect for a 4x4 relay team looks very, very high. Not taking away the individual pursuits of both Kirani James and Rondell Bartholomew. Yeah. And even on the women's side, if I may just add, Janet Redhead, once she can get over that injury, she has been plagued by an injury. It's good to see that she had made the semi-final once again. I think we may not see Nisha Bernard Thomas for next, but Kanika Beckles, for example, she's young. She's under the tutelage of Aline Francique at Texas A&M, and again, she had an injury just before, and great potential, you know. So I think in terms of track and field, we standing on solid ground, more or less. It's just to make sure that we continue to build on that foundation, and we keep those athletes focused. Yeah.
The future looks good.
Yeah. I know you want to talk also about the celebrations, you know.
Oh yes, Michael. Please do before we're out of time.
Yeah, this especially. I want to just make an appeal about, you know, yes, we have given Kirani, he deserves all that he gets, but you know, as we were conversing over the weekend and thing, one of the things that we would have really liked to see is this Kirani, probably a scholarship fund in the name of Kirani James, a Kirani James Scholarship Fund, whereby young sportsmen and women, and I'm not just saying track and field, but young sportsmen and women, whether it's tennis, swimming, whatever it is, can benefit from that. So probably the private sector can, you know, contribute towards that. Probably start with about $10,000. But at least, you know, probably 3, 4, 5 of our sportsmen and women every year can benefit from what you call a Kirani James Scholarship Fund, where they can go on to pursue their academic and sporting dreams as well.
Definitely.
And that, I think, will probably what you can call a legacy of Kirani James.
So true. Well said. Michael, before we wrap up, just in your words, I know you've been very busy for the last 4 days. You've been playing the role of so many different things. I know you've been on the motorcade, up and about. In a nutshell, well, in a nutshell, what was that experience like for you?
Well, coming home and to experience that, it's just an extension to what I saw in London with the Grenadians who came out. There was a day when brought Kirani in London in what you call the Grenada House. And I mean, I never see Grenadians come out and overpouring of love. Corporal Bihari was there, Jason Roberts, he was also there. A number of outstanding Grenadians came there, and the overpouring of love. And in my mind, I was saying, if this is an indication here in London, I guess when Kirani reached home, this will be chaos, you know? Yeah, and then when I saw what I saw on the airport on Thursday, I mean, not inside at the VIP, but outside with the crowd. I mean, they came out there, coming up on the roundabout. There were hundreds of people, you know, clustered around there, and I made the joke. They asked, "Where is Kirani James?" I say, "He's sitting right here in the vehicle," you know, and they were ready to come, you know. I say, this means how Grenadians and how sports in particular and what Kirani James has done has really united Grenadians. And I was very, very impressed, barring what Kirani got, you know what I mean? I was very impressed with what the images and the videos I saw of the, you know, the kids and the elderly coming out and showing appreciation. Because I think, I'm not saying, because I think we are all proud Grenadians and we should always be proud, but what Kirani has done is really make us probably a bit proud, you know, very, very proud. We're already proud, but conscious of how proud we are as Grenadians.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Now I need you to say one thing for me. If you had to give advice to this entire nation, proud Kiraniites right now, what would your advice to the Grenadian public be regarding everything that has unfolded in Kirani's accomplishment?
Yeah, calm your expectations, because you know, anything can happen. I mean, injury is something that as athletes could, you know, come up upon any time. Calm your expectations, but continue to support, and not just Kirani James,
No.
because as Kirani always says, a lot of his teammates help motivate him as well, you know. So if we can continue to support our sportsmen and women in general, I think you'll be able to motivate Kirani James, the Randall Bartholomew, Janelle, all the others, the footballers, swimmers, tennis players, everyone. That is my appeal to Grenadians, to continue to support our sportsmen and women.
Definitely. Well said, Michael. Where can folks find more information about Michael Bascombe? I know you have, I know you've got a blog set up, the Grenada Sportsmen and Women.
Yeah. Well, on Facebook you can find a lot of things.
Lots of information.
I do on Facebook. There's Grenadian Sportsmen and Women. You can find information on all our sportsmen and women, not just track and field, but obviously the focus will be on that now. And then I do a lot of tweeting for those who involved in Twitter and things like that. So, you know, and probably you could just Google Michael Bascombe.
There you go. Just Google Michael Bascombe and you'll be sure to find him. Michael, thanks so much again for stopping by.
It has been my pleasure.
It. And you leave the island when, sir?
I don't usually, for security reasons, but on Thursday.
I like that one. I like that one.
Well, I hope to be out by at least Thursday.
Yes, and you know, just keep us posted in every aspect of the sporting arena, specifically when it comes to sportsmen and women.
Because we're hoping to end, well, bring all our track and field athletes who are based in North America, some in New York sometime this year, so that they can, you know, explain to the authorities. Some of them will come up from Grenada, some of the problems they are having, and the authorities in turn will make sure that they can address some of these problems. That is to ensure that we keep those athletes focused and let them know, because the whole Kirani James phenomena, you know, you want to make sure that you keep a good cadre of our athletes, let them know about some of the activities coming up in the new year, and make sure that when we go out and represent Grenada now, there's some high level, because there's high expectation.
True.
Whenever Grenada goes out to compete, they're expecting some level of competition, some level of high, you know, things. So it's important that we keep those athletes together.
So true. Thanks again, Michael, and keep up the good work. It's been a pleasure.
Always welcome.